What happens when one man stands alone against 450? What happens when faith is tested under the scorching sun of Mount Carmel? And most importantly, what happens when fire falls from the sky? Watch till the end to witness one of the most jaw-dropping moments in history. The land of Israel was parched and lifeless. For 3.5 years, not a single drop of rain had fallen. The fields were barren, the rivers had dried up, and despair hung heavy in the air. Why? Because the people had turned away from the God of Israel and worshipped Baal, a false god of storms and fertility. At the heart of this spiritual chaos stood a bold prophet, Elijah. With faith burning brighter than the desert sun, he made a daring decision, one that would change the course of history. He sent a message to King Ahab: "Bring your 450 prophets of Baal and meet me on Mount Carmel. There we will settle the question once and for all, who is the true God?" The morning sun rose over Mount Carmel, illuminating the rocky peaks. The entire nation gathered to witness the showdown. On one side stood the 450 prophets of Baal, draped in their ornate robes, chanting and confident. On the other side stood Elijah, a lone figure, resolute and fearless. Elijah stepped forward and issued the challenge: "Let 2 bulls be prepared, one for Baal and one for the Lord. Place them on the wood of an altar, but do not light the fire. You call on your God, and I will call on the Lord, the God who answers by fire. He is the true God." The people murmured in agreement. This was a test they couldn't ignore. The prophets of Baal went first. From morning till noon, they cried out, "O Baal, answer us." They danced and shouted, their voices echoing across the mountains. But the sky remained silent. The altar stayed cold. As the hours passed, Elijah began to mock them. "Shout louder," he said with a smirk. "Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened." Desperate, the prophets slashed themselves, a gruesome act of devotion. Yet still, no fire fell. Their cries faded into the silence of the afternoon. Finally, it was Elijah's turn. He called the people closer. Calmly, he repaired the altar of the Lord, using 12 stones to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. He arranged the wood and placed the bull on top. Then, to everyone's astonishment, he said, "Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it over the offering and the wood." Water drenched the altar and filled a trench Elijah had dug around it. He repeated the command 2 more times until everything was soaked. Water streamed down the rocks and pooled in the trench. What was Elijah doing? Who could light wet wood on fire? The crowd was bewildered. Elijah stepped back, raised his arms to the heavens, and prayed, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel and that I am your servant. Answer me, Lord, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." The moment was electric. Then, suddenly, a blinding streak of fire shot down from the sky, consuming the offering, the wood, the stones, and even the water in the trench. The ground shook as the flames roared, leaving nothing but ashes. The people fell to their knees in awe and cried out, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God! Elijah turned to the crowd and commanded that the prophets of Baal be seized. Justice was swift, and the false prophets were no more. Then Elijah knelt on the mountaintop and prayed again, this time for rain. Soon, dark clouds gathered, and the long-awaited rain poured down, quenching the thirsty land. This wasn't just a story of fire and rain. It was a story of faith, courage, and the power of one man standing boldly for truth. Elijah reminded the people of Israel, and reminds us today, that no matter how strong the opposition, the truth of God will always prevail. So, what do you think? Was this a miracle of faith? Or is there another explanation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Brothers and sisters, in the name of the Holy Christ, kindly subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like this video and comment Amen to spread God's message.